What's good, y'all? It's your boy, the journalist, Cutface Carltino Jamal. And I wanted to clear up some misconceptions I saw on Facebook. As you know, my brother committed suicide, and my dad died of cancer. And for some reason, a lot of people in my neighborhood died or committed suicide or died of cancer. And then there was another person who shot himself in the head. And my brother stabbed two guys in the neck. And I do not want people to think that I'm suicidal because actually, the two emotions that I mostly feel are anger and ecstatic euphoria. And in 2020, when I was homeless, uh, I met a girl and I thought I could help her out. And it turned out that I got this Element hat from believe me, this hat is fucking bomb, right? It is awesome. It is orange, like high visibility. So like, if I'm walking across the street, like if there's like the stoplight's not working or something, you should be able to see this hat and be like, whoa, there's a guy there walking across the street. Maybe we should wait for a clearing in the traffic. And that's the Element hat. That is a very awesome hat. It's partly camo. Looks kind of like maybe like snakeskin. And but anyways, like I bought it from a lady before I ended up homeless, and I helped this girl out. Bought her some real nice glasses. They look like Morpheus glasses, and she threw them on the road, and I picked them up and put them on the memorial fence, and but I am not suicidal. In fact, I'm not even homicidal. All the things I've been saying on Facebook about how I stabbed that guy in the back are misleading because sometimes people are placed in positions where they have a very few amount of choices. That probably wasn't the right choice, but I did stab a guy, and I uh, I got $20,000 because I studied law, and there's loopholes for everything that you do in life. Legal loopholes. There's a legal loophole to achieve just about anything if you can lobby in the government, which I might do. You know. And so with this $20,000, what I did, I helped someone fix their car, $3,000. I helped out two other people, $200 each. That was $3,400. And then I donated a certain amount of money that I don't want to say because I don't like bragging to a charity. And then I just now realized I don't have money to pay that charity again. They're going to take out $40 this month. But I went and bought food. And I gave away two phones. I'll say that. In fact, I'm just going to brag about everything good I do. Because, like, it's starting to seem sadistic. Like, I, so I give away one phone. It's just like the one I'm looking at you now on. With my beautiful face, yes. And who are you to tell me that I have a face only a mother could love? Yeah. And that is why I'm not talking to my mom for 27 months or 27 days because I know that if I just take time up from talking to her and talk to pretty women on Facebook, that I will get all the love that would ever need. And I still have that Rorschach mask in my pocket. It's not the real Rorschach mask. It's like one knitted together, and I threw the black one away because I didn't want people to think I'm trying to rob a bank with it. But anyways, I gave away probably close to $6,000 of stuff, and so far I've learned a lot. And someone stole my notes, 70 pages of my notes, and so naturally, I'm feeling kind of angry about that. And I have a good memory, anyways. I remember everything eventually. So even though I can't remember it right away, because as you just saw on Facebook, I posted about Euler's identity. E I pi, e to the I pi equals -1, and that's how you find the square root of -1. And it's also solved by Cayley's tables, which I've been reading about, which is advanced abstract algebra, which I read about before I got arrested in like 2017. I watched Facebook videos over it, or YouTube videos over it, and so anyways, people have started sending me stuff, so I guess I'm getting some fans. Uh, I'm gonna try to not be so rude and sadistic. Cause I don't like people that's been sadistic to me. I'm gonna try to be the better person, keep being the better person. But since I went to jail for 3 years, it has really been testing my patience. And no one's buying my art, and it's like really good art. Like you couldn't beat that fucking price. Are you serious? I educate people. I'm trying to do a $500 giveaway after I just gave away like $6,000 and stuff, science stuff, and everyone's asking me for money. And like I don't have any more money. Like I don't even. But anyways, I have my land still, and I'm gonna cut my tree down. And I heard you can make a tree into acid, nitric acid, if you like, perform a chemical reaction on it, like dissolve it. It'll turn into nitric acid. So I'll have like a shit ton of acid. It's like the kind you like bases and acids that turn into salt when you react them, and it's not like drugs you do. It's not a tree that you smoke on. No, it's not that. Uh, but anyways, here is a Reaper drawing I did in prison because I thought someone ejaculated into my mouth. So what I did is I spit it on paper and I kept it, right? So I could look at it under a microscope to see if it's actually sperm cells. But when I spit it out, I was really angry, so I turned it into a, I like tilted the paper and made it into a giant scythe that the Reaper uses to cut people's heads off or whatever. And then I drew a Reaper drawing around it. And the guards were laughing at me. They thought it was hilarious, of course. So that's why like, I'm the most undercover cop on the planet. And I'm actually worse than a cop. Like, I could shoot crooked cops in the head and get away with it. Like, if you're a fan of mine and you want to send me stuff, you can send me stuff to 4 Northeast 10th Street, Suite 140, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73104. And yeah, that's my UPS box address. I don't go there very much, but it's inside, so you don't go trying to steal stuff because there's nothing to steal there. It's like indoors, like heated packages behind the counter. You can't go in there and just jack stuff. If you want to send me some fan mail, that probably really cheer me up and make me a better role model for people. And I probably wouldn't be posting about building nuclear bombs and going into banks and being like, I have a nuclear missile and I'm not afraid to use it. I want all the banks in this area code to send me the fucking money. I probably wouldn't be doing stuff like that. And but no, I came up with some good scripts when I was in prison. It was like the one was I said if I came up with a script and you didn't want copyrights to it, you could use it. So I want to see what y'all create out of this. I got inspiration for a funny video, a YouTube video to make now. I'm from actually a Facebook post. It was just a funny comment, a funny status. I'm making a video out of it when I get a good camera eventually. But this one, what you do is it's called the 10,000. They laughed at him when he started his own suit making business, right? And here's what you do, right? It's like a documentary, right? Like. And they go, they're like in front of the building, right? And they're like, this is the place where famous suit designer Cutface Carlton Jamal got his business started. And today we're gonna get an exclusive interview of how he created his $10,000 suits. And it goes in, right? And they're showing time-lapse videos of how nice it looks inside. It's marble, whatever. And then they finally go up and like they talk to him and like they're sitting down. It's all serious like it is now. And he's like, yeah, I was in school and I felt like I was going nowhere in life, and I felt like there was just more I could do. And people laughed at me when I told them that I was going to go to the University of Sarcasm and learn, physics. But my passion always lied in textiles and suit making. So naturally, when I'm in school and I wanted to drop out, people were down on me. They didn't even believe I could get through physics, and I was, I was barely passing that. So I did what most people would call failure. I dropped out, and I started my own suit making business. And then the interviewer goes like, and the rest is history. So yeah, that's what happened. And now look at you. And then he's like, yeah. So yeah, I became real successful. And then he goes, yeah. So today you're actually gonna give us the privilege of showing us what goes in the material that goes into making these suits. Yeah, and he goes, yeah, I sourced the material. Yeah, and he goes, so show us. And he comes up and he's like, this material, I don't want you to touch it because if the straightest fingernail could scrape it. And he pulls it out and he goes, I'm gonna cut up a small sample for you and allow you to touch that. And he pulls it out, right, in a trash bag. And he cuts down a certain length of it. I already had this pre-cut to make my next suit, and pulls it out, right. And he hands that small piece over to the interviewer, right. And he's like, wow, so this is material, right? You're like, I can't believe I'm getting to touch this right now. A $10,000 suit's material. He goes, yeah. And he goes, so, this here, and he pulls out some duct tape, and he's like, taping it together, right? And then he wow, so that's, you make it look so simple. And then and then he goes like, so he's like, as you know, this material is hygroscopic. It's water repellent, and I pride myself over the quality of materials I choose to put in my suits. And he goes, I have some samples here if you want to try, just to prove it to yourself how hygroscopic it is and how water repellent it is. And pulls that, the journalist goes and looks and he's like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like a serious interview, right? They're so serious, right? That's how you pull off the comedic effect, get that comedic relief. And there's a vial of blood, and then there's acid that can melt body parts, and he's splashing it on him, and it's just draining down the suit. And he goes, wow. And as you see, folks, this material works just as well as advertised. And he goes, yes. And he goes, so tell me, after you created your suit business, sold your first 100 suits, I hear you started to invest in other areas. And he goes, yeah, well, follow me. As you can tell, I've always been into, aesthetics. If you can treat a woman right, then she will, love you, adore you. Women are big on beauty. He pulls out his Dremel, right? He's like, hold up. And he's like, I decided to start a pedicure business. And then he's grinding at the bunions on her feet, a girl's foot. It's like a college humor episode, right? And then she goes, wow, you're doing a really good job. You really know what you're doing. And then he goes out, right, and he grabs the angle grinder, and she's just sitting there, right? And he goes, all right. She goes, you really invest in the best equipment. And it's all serious, and all of a sudden it just starts. It turns on the angle grinder, and starts blood spurting all over the suit. But of course, she would just act it all out, and that's why when I met Mr. Oklahoma, the bodybuilder, that's why he seriously asked me. He said he worked out with Triple H at WWE headquarters. He said, "I have a serious question for you, Carlton. When are you gonna become a comedian?"